Well, thank you everyone for joining us here in Regner Park tonight. Our first stop on our tour are the pickleball slash tennis courts. They were recently redone, so Cindy's going to touch on that, and then the discussion is going to change over to the future renovations at Carl Kuss. Jay has a current update on that. So, Cindy?
Thank you, Mike. The pickleball courts and tennis courts were resurfaced last year after the programming was done in August, so they were finished late in the fall last year. We had Armor Crack Repair come and repair all of the seams that had grass and stuff growing up through them. The cost of that was $8,100. We had 4 coats of acrylic surfacing put on here for $18,059. And we did striping on 4 different pickleball courts, which are on the 2 far tennis courts. This one we left for tennis because it's got the backboard on it, and we didn't want to completely eliminate tennis playing from this. So the total for the whole project was $26,634. Thank you. Mike?
Cindy, question.
Yes.
How long is there a guarantee on the surface, or what's the estimated?
Yeah.
lifetime?
The reason we did that armor crack repair is that's generally where you have the failure the first part of it. That'll crack again, just like asphalt. So they put like it's kind of like drywalling, taping on drywalling. They put multiple layers of that on, and then they put a filler over top of it to smooth it out so you don't have any issues with the play on the surface. But tennis court surfacing, I don't know, 7 to 9 years, something like that. They say it lasts.
Yep.
But the armor crack repair is supposed to last much longer than that. I've seen pictures of tennis courts that have been resurfaced and they haven't been touched for like 10, 12 years. You can kind of see where that crack repair has been done, but there's nothing coming up through it. So it does really function to extend the life of the court a lot longer.
Looks great.
Thanks. Okay.
And one other pickleball note, we did bring the portable pickleball equipment down here. So if someone doesn't have a net to use for their pickleball, give our office a call. We'll give you the code for the lock and we'll get you in here. You can play some pickleball. So, Jay?
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Carl Kuss update. The historic Carl Kuss Field has been under consideration for update for many years. In February of 2018, the West Bend athletic directors at the high school applied for and received a grant, a foundation, a Cal Ripken Senior Foundation grant in the number of $500,000. It's a matching grant that the community, and specifically the West Bend Baseball Association and Prudy Pick, has been assisting with the fundraising for. We have received the match from that grant, and so now Chuck Brady, who Mike and I are working with from the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation, is working in earnest to come up with their match of that $500,000 for the fulfillment of the grant. The project is significantly more than that, so the work continues on fundraising. We were hopeful that we would be at phase 1 construction, the ability to construct phase 1 this fall. We're not quite there. There's still some fundraising and some refining of the final numbers for the estimate that is going on through the Fields Foundation, the Fields Group, who's going to actually build the field on behalf of the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation. It's been a community, again, project from a fundraising standpoint. There are lots of the typical foundations that have offered up, and offered up some funding, and this one is one of the signature 125-year West Bend Mutual projects. They committed $500,000 themselves towards the construction of this field. The West Bend School District has committed $100,000. The City of West Bend has committed $100,000 from the capital improvement monies, and the West Bend Baseball Association has contributed $35,000 to date. So we still have some work to do. Mike and I actually just had a meeting this morning with some of the principals, including Prudy and the WBBA, in trying to hone those final numbers so we can get closer to breaking ground and starting construction. Any questions from commissioners?
Still thinking a chance for Labor Day, after Labor Day, Mike and Jay?
Yeah, not really. It would take significant movement on the finalization of the grant numbers. So we have some local contractors. I mentioned Fields Contracting is going to be building the field, but they'll use local contractors for things like concrete and earthworks. And so those local contractors are now just finalizing their estimates. Some of the contractors were hopeful that their estimates will come in lower than what the Cal Ripken Senior quotes have been, so that we can get closer to construction. But we're also waiting on a Major League Foundation MLB grant that was applied for, and that would match the $500,000. It would fulfill the requirement of Cal Ripken. That's a $450,000 grant. Cindy and Craig, before he departed, worked on that grant application along with the Baseball Association. Does that cover it, Mike, or did
Yep,
you have
pretty
something
much,
else to add?
pretty much. Any questions?
Other
And
questions?
again, the vision for that project is pretty much the baseball diamond fence, the fence and everything inside would be removed and reconstructed with a synthetic turf. New dugouts, new drainage, all that good stuff, new field lights. Outside the fence, yes, modern day and all that. The scoreboard would stay and the concessions building would stay right now. And that's it. Everything else, baseball goes, gets reconstructed, regraded, things like that. So it would definitely be a top of the line facility.
B diamond will stay though, right?
B diamond will stay. Yep, that's with the scoreboard for the baseball field there and B diamond. It's just we need that. We kind of need that field. We lost A diamond earlier, well, last year, this year, and we moved Church League up to Barton, and they seem very pleased with. We did some renovations up at Barton for them, things like that. So we've made it work for those leagues. But right now, I don't think we would have the appetite to lose B diamond. It gets used a lot. So yeah, rec, many little league practices and leagues and games and things like that. So good. All right, thank you. All right. Welcome back. We are here at Villa Park, one of our coolest neighborhood parks in West Bend. Again, we have just an awesome neighborhood volunteer program here. They've been doing a lot of fundraising over the last 4 or 5 years for their new shelter, trees, playground equipment, and this year we added Gaga ball, which is the coolest amenity. We did do some tree planting, some spading over the winter, things like that. But like these young folks here, they love their Gaga ball. It's kind of a full contact sport up here in Villa Park, so they're going to give us a little demonstration on exactly what they're doing and what Gaga ball is. So go ahead, show us.
So you throw the ball up and you say Gaga, and then the ball is in play, and then you try and hit it anywhere below their knees. So, oh, well, no. That would be out. Yeah. So you're out.
Might blow my knee out.
How many can play at once? They're always
We could all go in there.
All right, so that's Gaga ball. Again, why do we install this up here? Because this is what our neighbors wanted. They did all the fundraising for the materials here. Our staff came in, we did the excavation, put the base stone down. We used some playground curb for the edging, some artificial turf, and the volunteers put in the Gaga ball pit itself. So again, it's one of those neighborhood items or amenities they wanted in their park, and they made it happen. We made it happen. Just an outstanding group up here in Villa Park. So any questions? Great, thanks. Yep, no, this is what they wanted. This was,
Oh, here we go. He's gonna be easy. He's slow.
make sure you get it on film when he makes someone cry.
Yeah.
Or when he's crying.
Oh,
Somebody's been practicing.
yeah. Oh, there's one gone.
This is where his 2 p.m. meetings always.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good job.
Good afternoon. We are at Rolfs, which is the West Bend Dog Park. Behind me, you can see all the dogs up the hill. playing on the hill, and at the top of the hill, there was a new shelter as well as the one behind me that were just constructed this summer. The total cost for these were almost $43,000 altogether. That includes this concrete walkway that leads from the entrance area over to this shelter. This one is accessible, so we have people who aren't able to get up the hill to the other shelter, and this one provides them some shade. Some of the other projects that were finished this summer at the top of the hill, there's a couple new solar lights. This park does not have any electric utility available for it, so we've been putting up solar lights. The parks crews put up a couple more this summer at the top of the hill. Future projects for this park include extending this asphalt walkway up all the way up to the shelter and past into the woods to provide a pathway all the way into the woods. And we also have to do something with the parking lot in this park. It was constructed about 10 years ago, and it was pervious paving, which hasn't worked out very well. So we're going to be looking at doing some resurfacing or reconstruction of that parking lot. So
There is a path through the woods that you say that you're going to asphalt?
yeah, there's a mulch path through the woods. We want to put an asphalt path up to that point on both this corner and that corner, so they can get to both of them. There are a lot of people that hang out here in the evening, and they're here all winter long. So we need the lights because it gets dark earlier in the day. So they need something they can see their dogs with.
Does do snow blow down the sidewalk in the
That's open to volunteers.
That's volunteers, eh?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Mike address the maintenance.
Okay, question was snow removal inside of here, things like that. Everything inside the fence is done by the volunteers. That was part of the original agreement with the city back when this entire property was started. They raised the funds for some of the construction items and things like that, and they had to do their own maintenance inside of here. So anything from garbage to picking up dog waste to mowing, trimming, that's all volunteers, or they can contract that out if they want.
Is there equipment in the shed here then that's
They do have some equipment in the building. They have a small utility vehicle for emptying the garbage and things like that. They have contracted out some of their lawn mowing because sometimes the mowing becomes more like work, and the volunteers don't, they're here to kind of enjoy themselves too. So, but yeah, snow removal. Most of the time, there's no snow removal in here. This is just packed down snow, ice, kind of full contact winter activity.
Oh, that's great.
So, anything else? Great. Sounds good.
Welcome everyone to the basement library. What you see now looked a lot different on August 6th, and because on August 7th, Park Recreation, full-time and seasonal employees cleaned out this entire area. 30 tons of debris was removed to open up this space so that we could continue to progress on our design for the Library Rec Center, which basically where you're standing now is the lobby as you come down and enter into this area. It's chalked out here. The white or the yellow tape indicates the wall, basically the boundaries of the design. So if we kind of progress to your left here, or to your right, my left, the lobby area, the mechanical room. Basically, the areas that we want to occupy will be for a dance studio and a multi-purpose room for an array of different programs. The corridor, as you walk down the area here. And the first door for the dance studio will be right here. So you enter into that area. If you follow the corridor through here, where Mr. Chambeau is standing is the door that will enter into the existing library storage. This exterior wall here will be finished. The other side will remain unfinished. Continue down the corridor here. Will be the second entrance into the dance studio, right here. This room will be 22 by 45 or 1,010 square feet. Dance studio with a finished floor, mirrors, ballet, bars, etc. Then as you come out, following the corridor down this way is your entrance into the multi-purpose room, which again can be used for meetings, exercise classes, many different activities and programs. So again, you have a dance studio and a multi-purpose room. And then following the corridor down this way is you have bathrooms, ladies, water fountain, and a men's bathroom down this way. The plan is to put some storage along here for lockers to be used for the program that will take place down here. There's been a library rec center committee formed, and we're currently working with Zimmerman as an architect who designed the library several years ago. They've come up with the design. We are working to secure funding for the project, and the plan, the hopes is to start the bid process in early November with construction beginning the first of the year in the winter. Anybody have any questions?
The dance studio going to be smaller than what you?
It is larger. Yep, it'll be a larger studio, almost double the size. We have a very extensive dance program that we offer in the fall and the spring. We have over 200 kids in that program, and then we have a summer program as well with another over 100 kids to take the dance. So, mechanical room is behind you there. Obviously, HVAC will have to be put into the space. We need to heat it, obviously. We're not going to cool it. And then, of course, the plumbing needs as well for the bathrooms. I did. Would you like to add to that, Cindy, the schedule? Cindy Lyons is helping with the design of the program. Yeah. Yep. So.
But it sounds like the library is, backing this, they're looking to use this space. I think it'd be a wonderful idea for the city of West Bend.
Yeah, the space will be obviously used for recreation and then library needs as well, programs that the library has, existing programs. It gives us the opportunity to create new programming. We need the space because Mutual Mall is eventually going to be no longer where we currently hold programs and dance classes. So we're looking to bring those type of experiences and programs to the library and use this space down here.